when you have this money type, it's just a great bit of information to have knowledge about, oh, so that's what my type is. How do I balance it so it's not completely going the way that's not supporting me? So would that be useful for you if I gave you some ways that with your money type you can get in balance and begin to move through this ecology of your money? Would that be good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so for you avoiders, you want to have a money date, right? Remember, we're in a relationship? You want to have a money date. Because the first time, if you're an avoider and you're not looking at your bank account, the first time you look at your bank account, it's almost like you're 300 pounds and you're getting on the scale for the first time, right?
Yeah.
I just admire, I told you I love TV. I love reality shows is what it is. It's my guilty pleasure. And I love the courage that these people on The Biggest Loser have. Right? They're 300 plus pounds and they put themselves on a scale in front of national television. Right? How would you like to do that with your money as an avoider? Even if you're not an avoider, you don't want to do that. So here's the thing, is if you're an avoider, you want to start paying attention to your money more than you are now. Have a money date. And even if you feel like, oh, I can't do that, then get someone to help you. You know, the greatest thing that I ever did for myself was actually get somebody else to do my books. Because then I don't have to do it. But I get the reports and I get to see what's going on after it's all said and done. And then I get things that say, you know, you spent money here and here and here and here. And I went, oh my gosh, not shoes again. No, I don't spend money on shoes. So that's one of the things that you can do as an avoider. Is just start to have money dates, start to have people help you look at your money. So you get a trusted friend or a trusted advisor. And for the hoarders, it's about letting loose. It's about releasing some of this constriction that you have with it. Because if I were to use a body motion, it's like this. You know, I'm so tight that I can't let go. And it's the fear that keeps you from that. So what you can do as a saver is just decide today, or you know, as soon as you possibly can, I'm going to set aside a certain amount of money for me for fun. Maybe it's 5% of what you make, it's 1%, it doesn't matter, but set it aside. And here's the secret sauce, because you always like to have money in little pockets, so that's great. But if you just put it, here's my fun jar over here, and I'm never going to touch it. Set 60 days that you have to do something with it and spend it on yourself and have fun. Because as a saver, it's one of those things that's really difficult for you to spend money. And then if you're a spender, one of the things that's really important as a spender is that, and I really think money is so interesting because it mirrors fitness and working out and weight loss so perfectly. That if you have a weight issue with food, the thing they tell you to do first is to do a food diary, right? And if you've ever tried to lose weight and they want you to do a food diary, it's like, oh, please don't make me do that, right? Because what you have to do is then you have to look at it. So as a spender, unlike an avoider that just doesn't want to look at it at all, you want to start keeping a diary of where you're spending your money. Because then you can look at it and you can have a clear picture of what's going on with it. And you can see where you're leaking cash. And then you actually can get a friend that you can bounce this off of. Get the trusted person in your life that you can say, you know, I really want to do this differently, and I'd like your help and support in it. As a spender, and yes, keeping the journal, and having someone be your accountability partner. Somebody that you can trust and say, you know, will you work with me to do this, to pay attention? Because I'm unconscious when I do this spending of the money. It's almost, it borders on the addiction a little bit, and it's okay to acknowledge that that's where it is. And then for the monks, it's really about looking at how you can give, just much like the saver, how can you give money to yourself and value yourself instead of giving it away all the time? And really begin to recognize that because there are philanthropic causes out there, you actually are one of them. That you deserve to have that money for yourself as well. And begin to write a journal with that as well of how you can look at, where am I spending money on me? Where am I paying attention to me? Where am I valuing me? So does this make sense for you, that there's a money type and then there's just an imbalance? And that if you work through this imbalance, you start to align it in a very congruent way. So I want you to just take 1 minute and write down what you can do for your money type, one thing that you can start doing right away to begin to balance this out for yourself. Just one thing, because it's not about overwhelming yourself, it's about making little